Mike, I have a quick question for you from one of our attendees, and they ask, can my customers buy directly from you?
Scorecom, no. Scorecom is specifically designed to be a wholesale product line. Scorecom does not sell direct. And Jay, you can certainly chime in on this as we go through this, but that's one of the questions. I know the sign business is extremely competitive, like all businesses are, and there's always apprehension. Do you sell direct? Will you go around me? Do these kinds of things? And the answer to that is no. Scorecom is specifically designed to sell through a wholesale means. We sell only through sign dealers.
Correct. If we, as sign quarters, if we do get a phone call from an end user asking about scoreboards, we'll tell them about the product, we'll get their contact information, and then we will in turn contact a sign company who we have a relationship with in that customer's area and relay the information on to them.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So good question, and hopefully that answers that. Okay, let's keep going. Now we've shared a little bit about kind of our vision. We've sort of thrown that out to you, what we think is a big opportunity, what we're convinced is a big opportunity for your business. I want to back up for just a moment and discuss who we are. I'll just share a little bit about Scorecom, and we'll keep this fairly brief. Jay will walk us through the Scorecom product line, and this will be sort of a 30,000-foot view, not a ton of detail at this point, but just to let you know a little bit about the products that we offer. We'll talk about who a scoreboard customer is and when they buy. And you may already, very likely, are already dealing with many of these contacts in your market. So you already are talking to these folks very likely on a weekly or monthly basis. We'll discuss service and support. We'll talk about that as well. And we'll also talk about next steps. And I think that next steps is probably the meat of this entire discussion. And so we look forward to having a what next type of discussion as we conclude today. So as far as Scorecom goes, Scorecom is a high-quality line of scoreboards that is part of the Sign Quarters family. Sign Quarters is a collection of electronic signage and scoring products. And again, to the question we fielded a moment ago, Sign Quarters does not sell direct. We exclusively sell through sign dealers like those that are on this call. I want to share while I've got this screen up, we have a number of other signage products that are available, and you can see the messaging products. We have price signs, gas price signs, some other electronic signage products there that you see on the far left under messaging. We will walk through in this session Scoreboard products, and then we also have, as you see on the far right, some other electronic signage, marquees, and message centers. So those are all part of the Sign Quarters family. We're not going to spend much time on the entire product line today. We're just here to talk about scoreboards. But just file this away that Sign Quarters is a very robust group of signage products.
That is sold strictly wholesale to sign companies.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Okay. Who we are. Scorecom has been in the scoreboard business for over 20 years. We are located actually in the United States, where I'm calling you from Kentucky, which is where our manufacturing facility is. It's a state-of-the-art facility located here, and part of the value of our location being located in Kentucky is we are very centrally located. Allows us to reach both coasts very effectively and very quickly. We have a lean manufacturing process. We manufacture the boards from start to finish. I was actually out on the floor earlier this morning and see scoreboards that are being manufactured all the way from the metal to the plasma torch to the powder coat section, all the way into where the electronics are installed and the shipping. All of that is done here in our facility, and that's a big deal because what those two, centrally located and lean manufacturing, when you combine those, that equates to short lead times. And in our business, in this industry, it's pretty typical to see competitors with lead times of, 6 to 8 weeks-ish. That's not uncommon?
No, that's very typical.
So our typical lead times would be much more in line with 2 to 3 weeks, and that would be very standard for us. So we're able to respond in less than half the time of the typical scoreboard manufacturer, and a big part of that is our location. A bigger part of that is our manufacturing process and how we go through the production process.
Mike, I got another question out there, and I have someone's asking, I don't quite know who, what is the difference between Scorecom and Sign Quarters?
No, that's a fair question. Scorecom is the brand. Okay, Scorecom is the brand of scoreboards that is included in Scoreboards. Scoreboards is the larger, Scoreboards is the company name, Scoreboards is the collection of electronic signage and scoring products. The Scorecom specifically is the brand that is of Scoreboards that is carried.
And one more quick question while I got you. I have a question. Are the results based on waiting for opportunities or creating opportunities by teaching potential customers about the product?
I'm not sure if I fully understand that question, but if what I believe the takeaway on that is that you need to pursue. You are surrounded by opportunities, whether it be school, and Jay in a few moments will walk through who are Scoreboard customers. My suspicion is you're surrounded with them in your market and you deal with them quite often or quite possibly on projects already. So you have to aggressively pursue projects. You have to aggressively seek these out. They're not going to come to you. But I think that's what the purpose of this session is, so that you understand what opportunities surround you, and as you have the opportunity to pursue those, you can have an avenue to actually compete in a way that you've never been able to before. Okay. All right. Just another slide here that I'll show you, and then we'll dive into the product line. Scorecom, again, we've been in the business for 20+ years. We literally have scoreboards around the world, not just throughout the United States, and I'm sure each of the 50 states in our country, but our friends in Canada, Mexico, Central South America, over into Europe, we have sold scoreboards and have customers literally around the globe. On the right of your screen, and if you're a baseball fan, this will be more meaningful to you. We have a gentleman, Tommy John, and Tommy, particularly for those of you guys that are located up in the Northeast, will remember Tommy quite well. Tommy pitched in the major leagues for a number of years, 26 years, actually a very long and successful major league pitching career. Pitched for the Yankees, pitched for the Dodgers. Tommy actually works for us, and he's been very instrumental as we continue to grow the Scorecom name. Tommy has spent a good bit of time working on minor league baseball facilities, and is doing a great job in regard to growing our presence, particularly in the minor league baseball world. Okay, got another poll, and let's real quickly ask this question. And you see that on your screen. And we'll just take a stab at this. What is the typical profit margin realized from selling scoreboards? And you see the different options there: 10, 20, 25, and 30. And we'll see those votes come in. So as you're able to take a few moments and cast some votes on that, that would be helpful. I see the numbers rolling in now. We can watch that as those votes come in. Okay, Mark, you want to go ahead and, well, let's see, we're at a point to show that. Okay, go ahead. Let's go ahead and show that. Okay, you see the numbers there, and you see scattered among those different profit margins. In actuality, and Jay, you can speak to this as well, but in actuality, the scoreboard margins are quite frequently in excess of 30%. 30% range is very common. 30 plus is not uncommon, and so about 30% of you guys had selected that higher number, and that's not just on this, and we have to keep this in mind. It's not just the selling of the scoreboard, but there's also a very significant piece of the installation where there's margin as well.
That's definitely the upside of it for these sign companies, is the fact that they can make about a 30% margin on the sale of the scoreboard itself, as well as whatever markup they put on their time for the installation part of that. We can make available to you both a wholesale price list for our Scorecom line of scoreboards, as well as a manufacturer's suggested retail price. And that MSRP price list has figured in a 30% margin for the sign company.
Okay, so a 30 plus margin is not uncommon. That's very typical. That's what we would expect. And Jay's point is then, in addition to that, would be the installation piece.
Correct, and that MSRP price list we have, even with the 30% margin built into that, it's still a very competitive price. We've looked at what other companies are selling these scoreboards for, comparable scoreboards for, and even with your 30% margin figured into it, these are still priced at a very competitive price point.
Very good, very good. Now let's go ahead and get into the Scorecom family. And I shared a few moments ago that this is not intended to be a detailed conversation, but it is important that you know a little bit about the types of scoreboard models that we manufacture here and what you have available. So Jay, I'll turn it over to you and let you sort of walk through this with us.
Thanks, Mike. This is, as Mike mentioned, just a brief overview of some of the sports that we manufacture scoreboards for, and to give you a general idea of what's out there and what we have to offer. Let's start out with our basketball scoreboards. Our basketball scoreboards range in size from the smallest being a 7-foot by 3.5 foot, all the way up to a large 4-sided 12-foot by 5-foot scoreboard. All of our basketball scoreboards have standard features, include home and guest scores, clock, period, and possession and bonus indicators.
Hey, Jay, let me jump in real quick. We have a question from Sue, and Sue, we appreciate you asking the questions. We can see these questions roll in, and be patient with us. If we don't answer your question, we will try to get to it. If we don't get to it on this session, we'll certainly get you an answer offline. But Sue asked a good question. She asked, do you have to be an exclusive signed quarters distributor to be able to sell your products?
No, absolutely not. We offer, like I said, wholesale pricing on all of the signed quarters products to sign companies. You do not have to be exclusive with any of our products. Thank you, Sid. Moving on to the baseball scoreboards. The sizes of our baseball scoreboards range from the smallest being a 9-foot by 4-foot all the way up to a 10-foot by 36-foot. Standard features include home and guest scores, inning, as well as ball strike, out, and hit and error indicators. The larger scoreboards offer features like at-bat, hits and errors, as well as inning-by-inning displays that show runs per inning for each team. Our football scoreboards range in size from smallest being 8-foot by 6-foot all the way up to a 10-foot by 36-foot board. The standard features include a clock, home and guest scores, yards to go, downs, quarters. Some of the larger balls also feature the ball on indicators and timeouts left for each team. Our soccer scoreboards range in size from a 6-foot by 14-foot all the way up to a 10-foot by 24-foot. Standard features include home and guest scores, half indicator, clock, as well as shots on goal. The larger boards have corner kicks and saves displayed on the board as well. Our hockey scoreboards, we offer both indoor and outdoor models for these. The smallest is a 9-foot by 3-foot, featuring home and guest scores, clock, period, penalty indicators, and goal. The largest is a 12-foot by 6-foot. The features player numbers and specific penalty times, as well as shots on goal for each team. We also offer a large 4-sided hockey scoreboards for larger arenas.
So, as Jay walks through this, what you hopefully see is that we have a selection of scoreboard products that are available for a variety of different applications, whether it's, and he mentioned hockey just a moment ago, have a lot of different hockey boards, all the way from the smaller boards up to a 4-sided board that you would see literally a ceiling hung type scoreboard. The same for each one of these. It's a wide array, all the way from some much smaller scoreboards to things that are much more elaborate.
Well, as well as we have all the peripherals needed for each of these scoreboards as well. For our basketball line of scoreboards, we offer shot clocks and backboard lights. For the football boards, we have delay of game clocks that can be used with the scoreboard. We also offer, for our baseball scoreboards, a lot of those have integrated pitch count displays, clocks integrated into them, as well as we have standalone pitch count displays and clocks can be used with all of our baseball scoreboards. Moving on to the volleyball and wrestling scoreboards. The volleyball and wrestling, all of our basketball scoreboards are designed to also score volleyball and wrestling. These sports are often played in the same facilities, and at least for volleyball, a lot of times the volleyball season corresponds with the basketball season. Because of that, we offer magnetic overlays for our basketball scoreboards that can also change these over so they can be used for volleyball and wrestling. The board you see pictured there, the smaller numbers on each side of the board. In basketball, that would be indicate player number, fouls, and possession, points, player number, points, and fouls. In volleyball mode, there are magnetic overlays that would change those player points and fouls to player number, aces, and kills. For wrestling, it would also indicate, for the lower panel there, it would change some of those feature indicators for wrestling.